hoops. You know what time it is. Thanks again for tapping in, tuning in, joining the video, joining the festivities. Today we're going to hop into, you saw the thumbnail, we're about to hop into the top 5 greatest NBA teams of all time, so let's dive into it. We're going to embark on a journey through the pantheon of NBA greatness with all these teams that came and gone and went to discuss the most dominant teams in basketball history. These teams redefine what it meant to rule the hardwood floor, setting benchmarks that continue to inspire and challenge future generations. Let's dive into the top 5 greatest NBA teams of all time, ranked not only by their achievements, but by the sheer force of their legacy as well. Starting with number 5, man, you can't really leave this team out of the list. The 1986 Boston Celtics. Rounding out our top 5 is the green and white. They personify excellence with toughness. With the regular season record of 67-15, this Celtics squad was led by Larry Bird, who was at his peak and won his 3rd consecutive MVP award. The team's front court featuring Bird, Kevin McHale, who is slept on. He's one of the best power forwards of all time. If you don't know about him, go look him up. One of the most formidable teams as they come, blending skill, size, relentlessness, and work ethic. The addition of Bill Walton, a former MVP out there during his days with the Portland Trail Blazers, who served as their 6th man, brought depth and experience to an already talented roster. The Celtics were nearly unbeatable at the Boston Garden that season, going an astounding 40-1 at home. In the playoffs, they faced off against the Houston Rockets in the finals, winning 4-2, and further cementing their place in basketball history. Their combination of elite passing, intelligent play, and a physical defensive mindset made them a nightmare for any opponent. Number 4, the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors. They were vicious. When it comes to modern dominance, few teams can rival this squad. After a heartbreaking finals loss the previous year, despite a 73-9 regular season record, the Warriors retooled, aka hit the cheat code, by adding Kevin Durant to a core that already included Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and a few others. This move created one of the most potent offensive lineups have ever seen in NBA history. The 2016 and 17 Warriors finished the regular season 67-15, showcasing a blend of fluid ball movement, sharp shooting, and stifling defense. I think they ranked number 1 in defense that year, as much as the offense overshadowed how great they were on that defensive side of the ball. Durant's addition made them almost unguardable. Well, not almost. You know, against the competition they were going against that season, they were unguardable. As he averaged 35.2 points per game in the finals and won Finals MVP, leading the Warriors to a dominant 4-1 series victory over LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their 16-1 playoff record stands as the best in NBA history, solidifying their legacy as one of the most dominant teams ever assembled. A lot of people thought that was unfair, and it was kind of a cheat code because the Warriors are struggling against LeBron, even with Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond. Their so-called 3-headed monster, so they needed to go get another player that was one of the best ever and probably the top 2-3 players in the league at the time still. So you knew once that happened, that team wasn't getting beat. At least not against that era. Number 3, the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers. This Lakers squad may not have set records in the regular season like others on this list, but their playoff run was one of the most dominant in NBA history. Coached by Phil Jackson, the legendary Chicago Bulls coach, formerly. This Lakers team was spearheaded by the dynamic duo and the most dominant duo of all time, with both players in their prime in Kobe and Shaq. Shaq was at the height of his powers, an unstoppable force in the paint who won his 2nd consecutive Finals MVP that season. Kobe, meanwhile, had already emerged as one of the greatest players in the league with a complete game and no weaknesses, and was relentless as they come, combining skill, footwork, and indomitable will to win. So you knew those two weren't losing together, at least not in that time frame. In 2004, when they lost to the Pistons, you know, Kobe was beat up and they were going through some inner locker room stuff, but this 2000-2001 team was, man, there was a force to reckon with. After a regular season marked by challenges and a 56-26 record, the Lakers flipped the switch in the playoffs, storming through the Western Conference with a perfect 11-0 record before defeating the Philadelphia 76ers in the finals, losing only one game during their entire playoff run, where it required one of the other greatest players of all time, and Allen Iverson to go get 48, 50 on him. That's what it took to beat Kobe and Shaq. So now you see why they weren't losing. This unparalleled dominance, combined with the individual brilliance of Shaq and Kobe, solidified their status as one of the most formidable teams in NBA history. Number 2, the 1987 Los Angeles Lakers. The 1986-87 Lakers were the epitome of Showtime basketball, led by the greatest point guard of all time in Magic Johnson, who was in the prime of his career. This Lakers squad was electric, showcasing a fast-paced style that captivated fans and overwhelmed opponents. Under the watchful eyes of head coach Pat Riley, the Lakers finished the regular season with a 65-17 record and solidified their claim as the best team of that decade. Magic, who averaged 23.9 points, 12.2 assists, and 6.3 rebounds per game, won the MVP that year and cemented his place as one of the greatest point guards of all time. With Kareem Abdul-Jabbar still contributing significantly and James Worthy adding explosiveness on the wing, and who in his own right is another one of the top 50 greats to ever do it and one of the best small forwards to lace them up, this team had an offensive arsenal that was unmatched. They breezed through the Western Conference before facing their fierce rivals, the Boston Celtics, in the finals. The Lakers triumphed in 6 games, with Magic's legendary baby hook shot in Game 4 sealing a crucial victory. Their combination of star power, chemistry, and strategic brilliance makes them a definitive entry in any list of the greatest teams of all time when it comes to the NBA, and maybe in sports in general. Last but not least, number 1, the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls. When you think of basketball excellence, it's hard not to immediately picture the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls. This team was led by the legendary and greatest player of all time in Michael Jordan, along with one of the best small forwards of all time in Scottie Pippen, and bolstered by the formidable presence of the greatest rebounder of all time in Dennis Rodman. Set the NBA on fire with a then record of 72-10. Regular season, that was crazy. A mark so impressive it stood for 2 decades. Under the tactical genius of head coach Phil Jackson and his renowned triangle offense, the Bulls combined suffocating defense with dynamic scoring. Jordan, having returned from his first retirement, was on a mission to reclaim his throne, and he did just that, winning both the MVP and Finals MVP that year. The Bulls' journey through the playoffs was equally compelling, losing only 3 games en route to their 4th NBA title in 6 years. Now that's what you call dominance. That type of dominance was unparalleled and still is, as they dismantled the Seattle Supersonics in the 4-2 final series, proving why they are often the benchmark for greatness. These 5 teams defined eras, broke records, and left legacies that players and fans still look up to this day. They're more than just statistics and highlights. They're embodiments of the relentless pursuit of basketball perfection. Money aside, even sometimes health aside, even if you was hurt, unless you was severely injured, you was getting out there and fighting for your team. And that's what everybody respects, and what essentially what makes players, reign on forever in the basketball world, and makes teams reign on forever in the basketball world. It goes deeper and further than just looking at stats. So thank you again for tuning in to this. Thanks for listening. Once again, this is the top 5 greatest teams. Let me know if you think another team should be in here that I missed, or if you think the order should be reshaped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up. Once again, it's Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. It's your boy, Nikki P. Keep rocking with me, y'all. Peace.